Chairman, you're good to start.
Good to go. Get them on the picture.
Good morning. I'd like to start off with just saying that I'm going to be reading from a prepared statement, and it follows as this. On March the 14th, Governor Brian Kemp declared a public health emergency for the state of Georgia due to COVID-19. On March the 19th, Lowndes County and the cities of Valdosta, Ahara, Lake Park, Bremerton, and Dasher asked restaurants, businesses, and other establishments to voluntarily close gathering areas in an effort to increase social distancing. On March the 23rd, the Georgia Department of Public Health reported 772 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with 25 deaths attributed to this virus throughout Georgia. Of those 772 cases, 8 have been identified in Lowndes County. Since March 19th, the vast majority of our local restaurants, small businesses, retail establishments, churches, and others have demonstrated a sense of community second to none. Lowndes County experienced an immediate response by many business owners and others as they found creative ways to continue to serve the citizens of our community. On behalf of a grateful county, please accept my genuine thanks and admiration for the overwhelming care and concern you have shown for your customers, staff, and community as a whole. Despite the efforts of many, some citizens have chosen to disregard voluntary requests related to social distancing. As a result of this, and at the recommendation of emergency management stakeholders, local officials are moving forward with an executive order that will activate Lowndes County's emergency operations plan. In addition, the following measures will be implemented on March the 24th, 2020, and continue for a period of 14 days ending at noon, April the 6th, 2020, unless otherwise rescinded or continued. Number 1, a voluntary stay safe at home. Please respect the one measure that has proven effective in preventing the spread of COVID-19 by staying home. A prohibition on public and private gatherings attended by 10 or more people. A disruption of our worship services that are attended by 10 or more people. This being said, our community needs prayer now more than ever. Please do continue to find ways to worship together and support each other that do not include gathering in person. The closing of recreational and entertainment facilities. The closing of gyms and fitness centers. The closing of bars and restaurants, with the exception of those restaurants operating kitchens for the purpose of providing takeout or delivery services, providing that they adhere to the guidelines as stated in the executive order. Officials are sensitive to the impact of this order will have on the Valdosta Lowndes County with regards to our local economy. Citizens are encouraged now more than ever to find ways to support each other as we move through the response of COVID-19 together. Please continue to pray for our healthcare community, first responders, volunteers, and others that must remain on the front line of this event. While together we are better, each of you individually will determine the success of this action through your willingness to respect social distancing. The executive order will be released to the media and posted on social media and websites for local governments and emergency management. With that, I'll turn it over to the City of Valdosta's Mayor Scott Matheson to speak to you on behalf of the cities. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'd like to echo the statement made by Chairman Slaughter. We truly are better together. As we move through these unprecedented times in the community, in our state, and this country, I can assure you that Lowndes County and the cities of Valdosta, Bremerton, Lake Park, Dasher, and Hayhire are going to continue to work together for the betterment of this entire community as well. These measures that will take effect today are recommended by our local emergency management partners. They're going to help us as we aim to flatten that curve and keep all our citizens safe. Again, our emergency management director, Ashley Ty, has been meeting with our local health officials, the Department of Public Health, the South Georgia Medical Center, and the Moody medical personnel as well. So that's brought us great comfort, and that's again where this recommendation was crafted. Although, listen, we can't do it without you. We need our residents to recognize and adhere to this voluntary order to shelter in place. Stay at home except for the certain essential activities. Please be organized in those activities when you do go out. Please go to that destination and back again. We have an opportunity to take actions that have been proven effective to slow the transmission of COVID-19 and reduce infections. And I think that's key to all of us and about how we move. Don't move thinking of yourself. Move thinking about yourself and who you come in contact with later on, loved ones or those that are compromised. These orders were crafted with great care and great thought. The quicker we act upon our new reality, the quicker we can return to normalcy as well. And I'll leave you with this message. COVID-19 continues to spread across the U.S. Experts have been clear that the social distancing truly will help, and it's the most effective way to mitigate the spread and protect public health. And I'll end with this. I've been very impressed with our restaurants and any business that has reinvented themselves in this time. I think about a fitness center that is now doing online classes. I think about all the restaurants that are doing curbside to go. We're truly impressed, and we'd also like to think on the backside of this crisis that those people are going to come out stronger, having invented kind of a new revenue stream for themselves as well. So continue to support local, continue to support the restaurants in any way you can, but please just continue to practice social distancing and end this as well. We'll now take any questions if there's any from the media for any of the city members, or I believe even actually Ty as well.
I know you'll use the terms voluntary stay safe at home and then voluntary shelter in place, but those the same thing, or if
they are the same thing. They sure are. Everything else that you heard falls under the mandatory category.
Okay.
And in terms of enforcement, a lot of this has already been going on and happening, but what does it look like for someone who doesn't do what is named?
Based on this order, Lowndes County as well as the city, from a code enforcement standpoint, we will be taking action if we have cases where folks are gathering 10 or more. And so it's extremely important. We'll use whatever resources are available to us at that point to bring cases against individuals that violate this order.
In terms of changing this voluntary shelter in place to a mandatory one, is that something y'all discussed and then you revisited at some point?
I'm sorry, would you repeat?
I was just saying, in terms of the voluntary shelter in place order, have y'all discussed changing that to mandatory, and is that still on the table for later dates?
That's on the table for a later date. At this time, we're still asking folks to voluntarily shelter in place. It's extremely important, and really, it's a matter of common sense. With everything that's going on with this virus, it's important that every citizen needs to react as if the person standing next to you has the virus, which means you definitely want to get away from them. So practice that safe distancing of staying 6 feet or more away, getting in no other in confined areas with 10 or more people there. Okay. Thank y'all very much. Y'all come up here, y'all just scatter out. You would?
get up as soon as we can.